hold it! Before you throw that big box away, let me show you how to turn it into a beautiful Christmas tree collar. The first thing to do is wrap the boxes in whatever way you like, but I like to keep it very clean, and then made a panel to go over the part that was short of wrapping paper. First, I folded a straight edge on the top and on the side that will be the front corner. I looped tape into loops so that it was sticky on all sides, and then I placed on the back of the panel. Now it's time to affix the hinge. Simply place a lot of hot glue on the inside of the other triangle and then adhere the flap to it and hold until set. Now it's time to add the glittery ribbon. Cut it into pieces just long enough to go from the center, out across the top, down the side, and then just a little to curl underneath. Place your tree collar around your tree. Then take a long piece of the same ribbon and tie it around the tree. My ribbon is wired, so it's easy to make some waves and curls in it. Doesn't it look so much better than the skimpy tree skirt? That was a lot of fun, and I love that this tree collar is unique from anything I could find at the store.
To start this project, I headed to my local Dollar Tree and picked up several rolls of this velvet wired ribbon, some nautical rope, and 2 of these plastic laundry baskets. Next, I used a box cutter and very carefully cut out the bottom of the basket, followed by the top and handle. I found it easier to score the plastic and then cut the score. Then I cut through the side completely so that it was able to open up. I then repeated the process for the second basket. Once the baskets were cut, I used duct tape again to tape the basket ends together to make one continuous piece. I made sure to create a very sturdy connection between the 2 baskets so they wouldn't break apart easily. Then I pulled out my faux Christmas tree and determined the circumference needed to wrap around the entire base, then cut one of the ends of the basket to fit nicely. Now it was time to move on to those cardboard boxes. First, I measured the height of the baskets, which for me was about 8 inches. I already knew my ribbon was 2 inches wide, so I cut sections of cardboard using a ruler, box cutter, and a cutting mat. Once all the cardboard pieces were cut, I cut my ribbon into pieces that measured 9 1/4 inches long. I placed the ribbon upside down, then centered the piece of cardboard on the ribbon. First, I hot glued the shorter ends of the ribbon and folded them over, followed by the 2 longer sides, almost like wrapping a present. Then I repeated this step for the rest of the pieces. Next, I hot glued each velvet covered piece of cardboard vertically to the plastic basket, lining the short end of the cardboard up with the top of the plastic. Be aware that this will create gaps in between each panel, so to cover the gaps in the panel, I cut strips at 8 1/2 inches long by 1 inch wide for a total of 30. I covered these strips with ribbon the same way as before, then added them over the gaps all the way around. Then I took some nautical rope and measured the length of the top all the way around and cut the rope. I measured the same length of the ribbon, then wrapped the rope in the ribbon and secured it with hot glue. I added this trim to the top of the plastic with more hot glue. For the bottom, I simply cut the ribbon in half and applied it with more hot glue, making sure that the edge of the ribbon was facing up. Finally, I wrapped this collar around the base of my tree. This project was so easy and so inexpensive, and I'm so happy with how my wash basket Christmas tree collar came out.
I had this box that was just about to go in the recycle bin when I realized it was the perfect size for my tree. I need to cut the box down to the right height. To make the top of the box look better, I've grabbed a small cup and I'm going to use it to make circles on the top. With all of the circles marked on one side of the box, it's time to cut around them. Now that the box top is done, I want to trim off the bottom flaps. I'm just going to open up the bottom and cut each of the 4 pieces off. I want to give the box a more rounded shape, so I want to roll it around this large crayon tube that I have. This is going to create folds in the cardboard so that it can be manipulated into a circle more easily. Now that that's done, I want to give the tree collar a really lovely feel, and I've chosen this thick jute twine to cover the box with. I'll wrap the twine around the box until it's completely covered. I can also add a little bit of hot glue to the top of the scallops as well if I need to hold the twine in place. I've placed the collar where I want the tree to go, and I'm placing the tree stand down right inside. I can add the tree now right onto the stand. I couldn't be more happy with how pretty the tree collar is and how easy it was to make. Who would have guessed a cardboard box could look so good? I hope this has inspired you to make your own Christmas tree collar as well.
Take a trip down the photo frame aisle at the dollar store. Then grab some fabric at the store or at home, center one of the frames on top of the fabric, and cut out a piece of fabric that is larger than the frame and can wrap around the back of the frame. Cut out pieces of fabric just like this for all 6 of your frames. Take one piece of fabric and center one frame front side down. Pull one side of the fabric and wrap it over onto the back of the frame and secure it with a piece of duct tape. Do the same on the opposite side of the frame, pulling the fabric taut and securing with a longer piece of duct tape. Fold the end pieces of fabric and wrap over the edge of the frame, just like you're wrapping a package, and secure with duct tape. Using the same process, wrap and tape all of the photo frames in the fabric squares and secure the edges with your duct tape. Next, take a piece of scrap cardboard and cut it into thin strip pieces that are 1 inch wide and about 4 to 5 inches long. Corrugated cardboard works best for this, but any cardboard will do. Take 2 of the photo frames and set together with short edges touching. Take 2 cardboard strips and lay across the seam horizontally between the frames. With a piece of duct tape, secure one strip end to the frame. Before securing to the other side, though, gently press the 2 frames together before pressing down the end of the duct tape on the other frame. Do the same for the other cardboard strip. Once the 2 strips are secure, gently fold the 2 frames to create a cardboard hinge between the frames. Once all the frames are connected, stand them up on their side and make a circle with them. Connect the 2 end frames together using the cardboard strips and duct tape method. Place your new tree collar on the ground and place your Christmas tree in the center. But wait, don't forget the fabric scraps. Take some clear ornament balls from the dollar store and cut squares from the fabric scraps. Pull the corners of the fabric around the neck of the ornament and secure in place with a rubber band or a piece of ribbon. Quick and easy, these ornaments will look charming on your tree and will coordinate beautifully with the tree collar. I hope this inspired you to take some simple photo frames and fabric and create a fun and festive Christmas tree collar and ornaments.
Take a look at these designer Dollar Tree Christmas tree hacks. Head to Dollar Tree and pick up a pack of metallic balloons. Blow them up till they're about medium size and they resemble large ornaments. Use them to fill in gaps in your tree. Grab some of this mesh ribbon from Dollar Tree. It comes in a bunch of different colors, so pick one that matches your style. Cut a piece and gather the corners together and twist them. Tuck these into gaps in your tree to make it look full. Let's create a tree collar to cover up the base of this tree. I picked up a Dollar Tree laundry basket and then grabbed some of this chunky soft yarn. First, I want to cut the top off of this, so I just grabbed a box cutter and this cuts really easily, just go nice and slow. Then I want to cut down the side so this whole basket can open up. I'm going to take a piece of yarn and glue it vertically from the top to the bottom of the laundry basket. I'm going to space this out evenly around the entire basket. Now I'm just going to take this yarn and weave it in and out of the slats on the laundry basket. And I'm going to alternate each row so it really looks like a woven basket. Once the entire basket is woven, I'm going to add a piece to the bottom and a piece to the top just as to finish it off so I don't see any of that plastic. Now to add this to my tree, I'm just going to pull it open. The plastic is nice and flexible and wrap it around the bottom. I have a beautiful, cozy looking tree collar.
Time to run down to Dollar Tree and grab you some inexpensive picture frames. We're going to need a few of these. First thing we got to do is take these frames, lay them out. We're going to need quite a bit, but we also need some fabric. These are my 4 favorite, and we need a variety. Take that first picture frame, we're going to turn it over. We got to take the back off because we don't need the picture inside. We can just go ahead and take that back right off, and we're going to also remove the glass. We can save that glass for another project another time. Go ahead and put the back on, and we're going to flip that over. Look at that. It is ready to go to cover in fabric. Pull that first cloth over, and we're going to leave about 1 inch to 1.5 inches surrounding the frame. We need this to help glue it over. Once you get your piece cut, turn it back over, lay it down, start gluing down the side. As you can see, you want to get right up next to the edge, and we're going to lay the fabric right over. Now be careful. That hot glue is hot, so go gently on it. Make sure you don't burn yourself. Once you get that one side done, flip it back over, run a bead of glue right against the top again, pull it over, and we're going to hold it in place. It sets up pretty quick. Now we got that, don't forget about the tops, but we're going to fold this like a Christmas gift. Right there, just fold the ends over and pull it right on over. And look at that, it grabs. Just a couple of gentle pushes right there and it stays there. Now look at this, it is looking good. Now we're going to go ahead and cover 4 of our picture frames. These are my favorite fabrics and they are looking good. Now it's time to put them together. The first 2 are going to go right next to each other, but we need what we call a hinge. We can again use some extra fabric. Just cut it off about 1 inch for each side. Run that hot glue right down the side. Put that first piece on, but we're going to overlap it. You only put about half on. Again, some gentle love taps on that glue. Make sure it sets in place. Once it dries, go ahead and pull it back. Pull the other picture frame right up next to it, and we're going to run some glue down that edge too. Once that glue is on there, quickly but carefully lay that other fabric right over. That is going to put both of these together, and look at that, you're going to have a nice hinge that holds it together. The second one, every other one though, it's going to be a little different. When we put this glue down, our strip of fabric is going to be a lot wider. Again, just put it down halfway, but this time take 2 of the picture frames and you're going to put both faces together just like that, because we're going to put the glue and wrap it over the back. Once you do that, just put it on over, hold it in place, make sure it sets up really nice. It needs to stay strong. But here's the reason we do this. As you fold it up, one end goes like that. Look at this, we fold it the other way because we want to make this easy for storage. Now we've only got 3 here, but it's time to make some more. I had to use 10 of these. Look at, they store up really nice. But this Christmas, we don't want it stored. We're going to go ahead and start placing it around our Christmas tree. Look how beautiful that turned. It is just so lovely, and it makes a nice tree collar. I hope this inspired you to build your own Dollar Tree tree collar. Thanks for watching Home Talk, and we'll see you next time.